Welcome to our fourth show of Insider Talk. It's really been a nice journey for me, connecting with all my Facebook friends and my fans, and talking to them and bringing in new topics, new people every time, and interacting with you all. You've been a really good audience, and you have been coming up with such lovely questions from time to time that I am so inspired to do more of these shows. So today we decided that we should bring in Dr. Thakkar, Dr. Hemant Thakkar, who is an eminent doctor connected with Bhatia Hospital, with Breach Candy Hospital, with Just Lok, and he also has his own clinic. So it'll be really nice talking to him today. You know that the lockdown has opened about a few days ago, but we still don't know how to deal with it. One is finding that people think because the lockdown is over now, that we can actually openly start going into the streets, visiting friends, relatives, and everything is back to normal. You are connected with Bhatia Hospital, Breach Candy, Just Low. What is the situation like right now within the hospitals, and with the number increasing, how are we coping with it in the hospitals to begin with?
Currently, I have concentrated and limited myself only to two hospitals, Breach Candy and Bhatia Hospital. But I have colleagues and I have juniors at all the other places. Obviously, we are facing a pandemic. There is a clamor for beds. So people are trying their best to get beds. But just today, I'll give you an example. I finished seeing my patients at about 12, and I was exiting from the hospital when the casualty medical officer said, "So we have 3 to 4 beds vacant."
What is the scenario like? How many days are you now keeping? Because I know in the beginning the patients were kept on their beds for a very long time, 2 weeks. But what is the situation now? Now they are saying that the patients are going home much earlier.
See, what's happened is we are now facing a situation where people have learned that they can home quarantine. We are now also tackling the situation in a little different way, where we are telling patients that if you're asymptomatic for more than 3 days, where you don't have fever, where you don't have any breathlessness, where you don't need oxygen, you can go home. The idea is the hospital is reserved for people who are ill, who need support, who need oxygen, who need monitoring, who need frequent investigations, x-rays and things like that. People have got the message. Initially, to begin with, the social media had made such a big thing about corona and COVID that anybody with a positive COVID report wanted to come to hospital. So it was like the dengue times when, people would ring up and say, "Sir, mera dengue positive आया है, मुझे भर्ती होना है." बोला, "आपको तकलीफ क्या है?" नहीं, तकलीफ कुछ नहीं है, dengue positive. So I think people are now slowly coming to terms.
Now when the patient goes home, yeah, what does he do? How does he take precautions at home? Because he is exposing the rest of his family also to the possibility of getting infected. Whereas in a hospital, obviously in that environment with the doctors, the nurses and all the medical aid available, he's far safer and not exposing his own family to this situation. So how do you train? Do you train the patients? How do they go back and look after themselves and their families look after them?
So I think you have answered the question yourself, that the patient, how do you train him to not expose others?
Yeah.
So hospital is a treatment center, not a containment center. So ask the patient if he can have access to a single room and a separate toilet. If the patient can do that, he goes home. If he cannot do that, we send him to a containment zone. We have the SDI, we have the gymkhanas, we have so many public places where the municipality has constructed containment homes. So the aim is not only when he goes home, but when he came into hospital, he had already rubbed shoulders with his relatives at home.
Yeah.
Tell the relatives to be sure to contain themselves, to quarantine themselves. And this fellow, when he goes home, suppose he goes home after 5 to 6 days. If he has no place to go, we send him to a containment zone. We send him to a containment center where he can be quarantined there amongst people of his caliber, where are all positive and they can all be together. And when the required number of finite days are over, he can go back home.
So what they really say is that once a person has had this infection and he comes back to normal, he's built the antibodies, and so he actually is safe now. But he can spread it to the others. Now, is this a myth, or what? What is the truth?
I think what you said is they say. You know, in India, they say has become something like the biblical knowledge, which is WhatsApp from phone to phone.
Yeah.
This disease, madam, is less than 6 months old. What do we know about this disease?
Yeah.
We only know for a fact that after 14 to 18 days, when he has become negative, his ability to spread infection to others or transmit infection to others is far curtailed, very, very limited. So obviously, if he goes home on 15th day, he can't start living and rubbing shoulders and hugging people. But his ability to spread infection is less. Now, when you asked a question about antibodies, with antibodies, I can only say one thing, that again, we don't know too much about this disease. Nobody has really quantified. When do you quantify antibodies? You give a child a chickenpox vaccine and you look at him after a year and find out how much of chickenpox antibody he has. Where is the time that has gone by? We've had people who've got COVID in maybe March, April, May, and hardly 2 months have gone by. So we have really not found a way to estimate antibodies, but we live from the past. We live from our past history of the diseases that we have treated. So we assume that this patient has produced adequate antibodies in him, which is why we take his serum. What is reconvalescent serum? Reconvalescent serum is tapping the antibodies from a patient who has recovered, collecting it together, and then giving it to a sick patient who has no time or who hasn't yet made antibodies. Now, you'll ask me is, will he never get COVID again? Now, according to common knowledge, he should not get COVID at least for 6 months to a year, maybe longer. We don't know, because this is a new virus. We don't know how long the efficacy of the antibodies is. For example, dengue is a viral infection. We've had people who get dengue after 2 years, 3 years again. That could be because the dengue strain is different. I'm hoping and praying for the community's sake and the sake of the universe that we don't have multiple strains of this COVID-19, even with their mutation, so that if you have had COVID-19, you get a fair degree of protection. And even if you are exposed to the virus, you should not have a reflare. This is my prayer, but nobody knows. Science is
I'm not sure that any of the people who have actually recovered have had another attack or not.
Well, you know, they have not had another attack, but they kept testing them for the virus. And initially they said, oh, after 6 weeks also we found the virus. Now we know it's not the virus, but it's fragments of the dead virus which are being shed off in the nasal mucosa. So when they took a swab from the nose, they found it, but that was a fragment of the dead virus. So if you see 2 drops of blood, it doesn't constitute a murder. It could also be a cut on the finger. So I think early days, we are learning. We have to adapt with the times. We cannot afford to drop our guard. Our guard is social distancing. So what if he has recovered? But that doesn't mean you can hug him and kiss him and be intimate with him. I think the days of promiscuity are over. One has to be very careful sitting next to him, cohabiting with him, and so many other. Yes, 2 people with COVID-19 we put together in the hospital because they have the same strain of the virus. So if we have a family, and just today morning somebody said, all 3 of us, sir, are positive. Can we live together? I said, sure, you can live together. You can find a young lady for your son who's also positive, and she also can live together. So it's all a matter of logic and how we can adapt social.
Is there any kind of a precaution that besides hand washing and the sanitizers, all the things that we are hearing on the phone every day of our life when we pick up our calls, besides these basic 4-5 things, food wise, is there anything that one can do which can help us protect ourselves? A lot of people are talking about vitamin C. Take vitamin C every day and you'll be protected. A lot of people are talking, and we've heard about the malaria medicine was very good for curing yourself. How far are all these things true, and how seriously should we take them? Because every few days you hear a new medicine which is very good, and we are all running. I remember when this malaria medicine, I'm forgetting the name,
Hydroxychloroquine.
Chloroquine came. All of us ordered. My whole family. I also went and ordered. I sent my driver, and they were not even giving me the right one. Because later on I was told, no, it's not this one. There is this one that you should be buying. So very difficult. So people are hoarding things and thinking, maybe a lot of taking this, a lot of taking that will help. What do you have to say about this?
So these are the ills of social media, where people just forward anything they get and others swallow it up. Now, this is a droplet infection. So the most important thing for protection is to wear a good fitting mask. It should be either a triple layered mask of paper, it should be a nice, or it could be a cloth mask. Importantly, out of fashion, people do not cover their noses. This mask is useless if you don't cover your nose.
But nose from where? From here or from here?
No, from here. You don't.
A lot of us cover it from here. So then that is not right.
Your nostrils have to be completely secured. So if you wear it in a V, that your nostrils are secured, aim is you don't allow any external droplets to get into the nose or the mouth, because that is the source of infection. It's a droplet infection. Then if you go out and if you touch a door handle or a telephone or a public utility handle, which could have the virus, what do? You will again touch your face. People touch their face 45 times an hour. So then use the hand sanitizer. So first thing is, don't touch your face. If you can consciously remember not to touch your mask, because otherwise from the handle you will put it onto the mask. So keep sanitizing, so in case you put it onto the mask. So no touching your face, wearing a mask, and hand sanitization if you are out in the public environment, not necessary at home. You asked about food. Now it's common sense that vitamin C is a healing vitamin or an immunity vitamin. So everybody is going to say this. Anything like zinc is a healing vitamin for wounds. So they say take zinc, they say take vitamin C. The Ayurvedas are saying going to take ginger, take turmeric. So you can keep taking everything to improve your immunity. But if you take that and if you don't observe the precautions, then you're in trouble. Now, coming to hydroxychloroquine. Hydroxychloroquine is not a malaria medication. I said that on Arnab's television show. Why are people talking about it's not? It's an arthritis medication.
Mm-hmm.
I am taking it for the past 9 weeks. No, 11 weeks now, 1 tablet a week. Touch wood, God is kind, I'm still sitting in front of you. It is believed through science, and even the Lancet famous magazine has retrenched, that taking of hydroxychloroquine once a week by doctors and healthcare workers who are exposed to the virus, you can get protection.
Okay.
But you don't need to take it unless you are going to go out and do social service, looking after people who are in quarantine areas.
But what about the people who are above 60? Because they are apparently the ones, who are most capable of, getting it.
But if they have somebody in the house who has it, yes, they must take it.
If you have liked our video, kindly subscribe, press the bell icon so that you can get notifications about our latest videos. Like and share our video.